Ayo, it's Sub 5 Analysis Lily Edition, Melon Keeper Edition, and this is a particularly special Sub 5 because it is, of course, my one. Um, a moment that I've been waiting for a long time, uh, and that just kind of came out of nowhere. It was almost. It was almost so random that it was just anticlimactic. Like, I felt great, but I also felt like this isn't necessarily what I expected to feel like when I sub 5, you know? It felt random, just like out of nowhere, sub 5. But here we go. I think the reason it felt random is because it wasn't at like the peak of my grinding. I had only played the game for maybe 3 or 4 hours that day. I played it in the afternoon on stream, and then I played it in the morning without having slept. So I played it in the morning at like 4 a.m. And I played it for like an hour. So like three maybe 4 hours of playing the game that day. So it wasn't at like the peak of my grind or anything. It just kind of snuck up on me, I guess is the best way to put it. So I'm using the rhythm timer mod. I'm resetting using a macro. This is the first controller sub 5, by the way. First controller sub 5. First Scotland sub 5. Scotland #1 best country. So people have been saying that this seed is bad, and like, I don't know. It's definitely not great. But I don't think this seed is that bad. It's kind of an enclosed space, but it's all stone, which you're going to get rid of most of it. But it's certainly not optimal. And then the cave is really quite... I wouldn't describe it as an open space. It's kind of closed, and then it has like a little area at the bottom that's more open than the rest of it. It looks pretty it looks like a bad seed, or like not a bad seed, but just not a sub 5 seed. But you know, one of my earlier PBs, maybe it was my sub 6 or something, I didn't even find the ladder for like the first 2 minutes, so I'm like the queen of making bad seeds work. Honestly, not much to talk about so far. I've just been like kind of multitasking, you know, getting the stone, getting the sand. That was the first time I saw the cave, and I was thinking, okay, this cave looks kind of shitty from here. So I definitely was not thinking like, okay, this is gonna be a good run or anything. I was just like, okay, you know, we'll play it out. But like, look at this. This is such a shitty little cave. But it does get bigger, as you can see in the bottom right. You just need to dig your way there first. So you can see me just kind of basically just EBMing off of everything, getting the resources, and I'm quite happy to see those zombies there, I think, because I would rather get like my objectives half done, like the sand and stuff. You know, usually you leave sand and zombies for last. A lot of people do that. But I would rather get those objectives like half done in the early part of the run than have to do them fully right at the end. So I'm quite happy to see those zombies, and I've got enough space here that I'm just like going for the sand is kind of my thought process. And so here what I'm doing is a technique that I've been doing a lot recently, and Armin's been doing a lot in Dream%, which is like while you're mining Jamor or iron that's near the ladder, you can ladder reset while your bar is charging again. So these were just really good drops, honestly. The spawn luck was also good, but mostly the drops. So yeah, we're just like refreshing the bar, or like using that period of the bar refreshing, the stamina bar, to get another ladder reset in, which just maximizes your like chance of seeing zombies and I think it's really effective. My runs where I am able to do that, because sometimes the gems are too far away to make it worth it. I tried to like really squeeze one in there, and it ended up working because a zombie spawned. But if there was no zombie spawn, then it was just a waste of EBM. So it's kind of a risky strat in that sense. But that's only if you have to walk pretty far to get the gem. So you can see I'm just kind of farming zombies in the top area and in the cave area, and I go out here to get more zombies, and I'm also conscious of the fact that I haven't finished the trees objective, and as I'm seeing all these zombies, I think this is the moment that I realized that this could sub 5, because I'm realizing that I only have like 4 Ichor to go, and I've basically completed everything else. Like, I need to get the trees as well. So you can see me kind of panic to get the trees done here. It doesn't come across that much in my gameplay that I'm panicking right now. But as soon as you... I mean, that's one of the main things, is that I dug that whole tree, and then I left it and without breaking it. And then my menuing... And the fact that, like, I didn't pick up this Ichor... I just killed this zombie and then picked it up. Like, I should have picked it up, but whatever. And then you'll see in my menuing that I'm really panicking, because I go to the stone, I go up to the anvil, down to the furnace, I swing my sword, I craft this, the workbench comes out, and like I'm just panicking to get everything done. You can see me go slow on the sails here, because I don't want to be a 5-sail Sandy. And then I get the sub 5, so you can definitely see me panicking there. It's honestly like, when I'm watching Zar and Hollow Knight and Armin and Ellie play, there are moments where I go like, oh, I would have done this differently. But when I'm watching this, I guess I don't have as much to say, because it's my gameplay. So yeah, I kind of agree with all the decisions that I made. Other than when I was panicking, obviously. But for the first, like, 4 minutes, I agree with every decision I made. And it ended up paying off in a big way with the sub 5. I'm really happy that I got it. You can tell by my reaction. I don't even... I'm gonna cry. And I think I did cry after this, just a little bit. But yeah, it's a run that I'm really proud of. It's a run that I'm really proud of, and one that I'm happy to have as my pinned run on speedrun.com. And I've got to say, like, now that this is done, I'm not done with SI. I don't know what I want to do next, but I know that I don't want to give up on the game entirely. So whether I go for like boss kill or dream percent or something like that, I know that I want to keep playing this game at least. That being said, don't expect me to grind it, because I just got my sub 5. I'm going to take this as a moment to just not think about the game for a little bit, I think, because even when I wasn't playing it, the sub 5 was kind of always nagging at me. That 505 run, that 506 run, which both could have easily been sub 5s, right? 506 and then 505, like a week apart or something, like pretty next to each other. Both of these runs could have easily been sub 5s if I handled it better. And so for the 7 months where I didn't PB and I didn't really play the game, I was thinking about it, and now I just want to stop thinking about SI for the remainder of that time, I think. So thank you all for watching. Thank you all for following my sub 5 journey, the longest journey to sub 5. Having joined this community in November of 2020 and being in November of 2022 right now, it has taken me longer to sub 5 than Hollow Knight. It has taken me longer to sub 5 than Armin, and a lot longer than Zar and Ellie. I think Ellie might have the distinction of being the shortest sub 5, but it could be Zar, I'm not sure. Certainly, I don't let that get to me. Like, the fact that this run is fourth place and it's not world record and it's not, you know, top three, it doesn't matter. Like, it's a sub five, and I'm proud of it either way. Like, I was looking at it like, man, I was like a second off of being like second place, you know? If I was just a bit faster, if my menuing was crispy, it could have been a sub 450. And I was thinking about it and I was like, but I don't care, because either way, it's just a sub 5. And the fact that I got sub 5 is way more important to me than what the final time was. If this was a 4 minute and 59 second run, I'd be just as happy right now. So I'm not really worried about improving this time. I don't know if I'll ever play any percent again, because in my mind this has just been the peak of my Stranded Isle NA% career. And I don't think I can do any better than this. I mean, I said it when Hollow Knight got the 443, and I said it when Hollow Knight got the 440. 456 is still my favourite Stranded Isle run of all time. 456 was so important because it was the first sub 5. And this run is really important because it's my first sub 5. It doesn't mean that the next, if there is one, it doesn't mean that the next sub 5 won't be a big deal. It just means that it might not be as important to me as the first sub 5. But that's it. That is the sub 5 analysis. I've given you sort of my thoughts on the just experience of now being a sub 5er. It's really awesome, because I've been saying for ages that I would do it, and it was getting a little, like, it was funny at first when I didn't sub 5. Like, I grinded the game, I got my sub 6, and then I didn't touch the game for like 3 months, and it was funny. And then I got the 505 and it stopped being funny. Like, it was 7 months in between that 505 and this sub 5. And yeah, I haven't been running the game like consistently between those 7 months, but damn, like, I put in a lot of hours in between those months and before the sub 5. Like before the 505 I put in a lot of hours, and after it, between the 505 and the sub 5, I did unironically put in a lot of hours. I didn't always announce it in the Discord when I was grinding, because it gave me a lot of like additional pressure in my mind, because when people know that I'm grinding, I feel like I have to show results. But I did put in a lot of hours, and it got really annoying that I couldn't produce results that I thought that I should be able to. And it's because it's an RNG game. At the end of the day, it came down to that a lot. So it just makes me really happy that I no longer need to be right on the edge of sub-5ing. I feel like I've been on the edge of sub-5ing for 7 months now, and I'm really happy that I'm no longer in that position. So I guess I'll finish off with all of you non-sub-5ers out there. Hi, Mario. And I won't speak ill of the dead, but you know, everyone who is not sub-5'd, go ahead and do it. Feels pretty good. Feels pretty good at the top. I'll see you all later, and hopefully the next video will be the edit. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm still working on it, but now I don't need my editing time to be taken up by playing the game.